4 terrorists struck at the Indian Consulate in Jalalabad. We are getting you the first images of that horrific terror strike that were caught on camera. A CCTV camera outside the consulate captured the attackers carry out the strike. There you see, just as those terrorists are coming in, security personnel hurriedly put additional barricades to protect the consulate, and that is where the suicide attacker, when he fails to get to the embassy, to the consulate, he blows himself up, and terrorists who were hiding in the vicinity, they came out firing all guns. The brave personnel of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP personnel, guard the Indian consulate in Jalalabad. They retaliated, they responded till the Afghan security personnel came to the spot. They responded and pushed these terrorists back. They fired non-stop. They are trained for it. They've done it 1 month ago. In January itself, terrorists had struck the Indian consulate in Jalalabad. They'd struck this area. ITBP personnel were alert. This time again, they fired back, kept these terrorists from coming in. Now, from what sources are telling India today, one of the terrorists succeeded in coming very close to the consulate gate, and he managed to lob a grenade inside. Fortunately, no one was injured. We believe there is some damage to the property, but one grenade was hurled inside. Afghan intelligence officials have told Government of India they suspect a Pakistani hand, as has been the case in the past. But there are some intercepts that seem to suggest this. And for more on that story, I want to bring in India Today's Smita Sharma. Smita, you've been speaking to your sources. What's the latest?
You know, Gaurav, what we are being told, in fact, is that there were 2 suicide attackers. One is the image of which was caught in the CCTV that we are now playing out on our television screens just in front of the Indian consulate in Jalalabad. The second was reportedly the person who drove the other 4 terrorists, you know, who were then neutralized, of course, by the Afghan security forces and the ITBP. Other than that, of course, 8 Afghans also killed. One of the, in fact, local Afghans working in the consulate was injured too. But remember, this is the 4th such attack on the Indian consulate in Jalalabad since 2007, when we witnessed, in fact, grenades being thrown at the consulate. Yes. 2013, we saw, in fact, as many as 3 suicide bombers, blowing themselves up. And it's not just Jalalabad, be it Jalalabad to Mazar-e-Sharif, to, of course, our embassy in Kabul itself. They have constantly been under attack over the years, especially every time we have seen either there have talks that have progressed between India and Pakistan at an official level, or even during, if you remember, that siege that continued even as Prime Minister Narendra Modi was swearing in after his decisive mandate.
Okay, keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. But for a moment, I want to shift focus to the events in Parliament earlier today. Let's now get you the latest from Jalalabad in Afghanistan. The fierce gun battle that was on between terrorists and security forces has now come to an end.
Okay guys, we have to